ours is a crazy place in oh so many ways. Let's try to make some sense of it on Spiritfolk Saturdays.
Welcome to the weekly Filling and Tidbits podcast, Spiritfolk Saturdays! Today we're here to talk about parts 28 through 32 of the Big War arc. I'm your host, Elfy, Spirit of... I'm sorry, but I cannot physically contain my excitement over the existence of Zelda right now. Joining us this week are Dark,
Spirit of magical alien portals,
Stevie,
Spirit of poor connection,
and Molly.
Spirit of poor life choices.
Stevie said that and then immediately dropped from the call.
Pepperoni.
I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna call it tonight.
Alright.
I apologize.
Okay.
Alright, goodbye, Stevie, friend.
Bye.
Oh boy. We haven't done a podcast in like 5 weeks, and I'm really sorry about that, but I had lots of mental health issues, and then college started, and I haven't had time. So, we're going to try and cover mostly just recent relevant things, but I have notes on all of the things, so, I mean, we'll see how that goes. Would either of you like to start, or should I just start going down my list?
Okay, well, mention what was the first episode, and then I can talk about it from there.
28 is when they started talking with Jin? Or was the end of the talk with Jin?
Episode.
Okay.
Because I have the note, Colvin can beat Jin, holy fuck.
Oh, yeah.
So it's I think it's right, the second episode.
There was 2 parts.
because we didn't do it because it was going to be a 2-parter. So the beginning of that 2-parter.
Okay. Oh, wow.
The answers episode, and then afterwards, shortly followed by the everything goes to shit.
Yes. If Big War had a second part because they didn't promise that it was going to be the final arc, I'm pretty sure that would be just what this is called. Because everything is on fire, but it could be worse. Here is the it could be worse part.
Oh,
Nothing is on fire, but everything is still hell.
So, is Jin dead or not?
It's implied that because he is a connection of multiple creatures, some things are directly connected to him and some things aren't. So it is likely that at least some part of him is still living, like little remnants of himself, such as why Zelda didn't just like instantly die, and why there's still Ben who are of his running around. Presumably, if Iconoclasm didn't kill him entirely, it did some major fucking damage.
Yeah, and he keeps reincarnating, dying, reincarnating, dying.
Something like that.
I think that's what's happening.
Man, that must feel like hell.
I want to say something, but I can't. Damn it!
God damn it!
Spoilers.
Yeah. So, yeah. All of the stuff this is like, these last 5 eps have all been really, really good and really interesting, and I'm so excited, but at the same time, it's like, alright, where did we start?
There's way too much to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we could talk about how Jin and Zelveda's stories
Yes!
are different.
Yes!
Oh, man.
Yes! Okay, so I sent a thing to Jay talking about how each of their stories aren't exclusive, and that they both have reasons for them to be true. Because the thing... Alright, I'm just gonna read what I said to Jay, and then I'll read what he said.
Okay.
The thing about the discrepancies between the two of them is that while Jin's words are trustworthy, he himself is not. His tendency to avoid information, especially damning information, or wording things to tell a truth others won't realize. And then a quote of his, which is said, "As I said earlier, it's unfortunate, but Spiritfolk appear to be different to those of pure flesh. While I made every effort to bridge the gap between the two and fuse them into one people, could possibly be an indication that Zelda is, in the least, not entirely wrong. But Zelveda's words are demeaning to him. He calls himself a monster, to Gregor of all people, mentions forbidden practices, and calls Jin the closest thing he has to a parent, which is pretty damn shameful, like calling himself discarded and disavowed. And in an inverse, while Zelveda's words seem not necessarily trustworthy, there's a line in one of the supplements about how Ilverk, who's the spirit from the Village of Corpses, was banished because his human experiments offended Jin. He calls Gregor his friend and has been truthful and even respectful to him in the past. His willingness to ask Jin to talk to Gregor even proves that. Not to mention, if he did have an intent to kill spirits more so than Ban, he probably would have killed Iggy too. And other things like that. And Jay said, no reason to wait. That read is spot on. The truth exists in the middle ground between both of their stories. It's clearly something depressing for Zelvetta, while Jin glosses over ignores his own involvement with the boy outside of a few hints dropped here or there. So basically, they're both right. Their stories are just like very, 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 very heavily different points of view.
So basically, if we mash them together, we'll get something, but we don't know how to put them together.
Yeah, like basically what we heard from Zelvetta is his origin story, but what we heard from Jin is his repercussions for it, kind of.
Yeah, he was created and then, yeah.
Yeah, and then discarded, and he went, alright, fuck that, fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, considering everything that's happened so far, I kind of pity Jin now. Like, I hate him, I guess, by, like, default. But yeah, I definitely pity him.
I'm not sure quite how I feel about him. It's weird, and I don't really have a name for it. I kind of want to hate him, but I just don't have too strong of a reason to hate him. It's just, he's an ass.
Yeah.
Well, he has screwed over all of Jinkala at this point.
Yeah. And potentially all of Honorant, all of a lot of people.
If it just spreads over land, it's got Caravia. It also possibly, if it goes around, could also get to Altrea.
It's like I'm just remembering the angry golems talk and them walking over under the water to get to other islands.
Oh. I wish that was a thing. So funny. After that, like, Marcus kills him, of course. There's the whole spell with how it's affecting his hand, and then it's not.
There's the mention when he casts the spell that his demon soul is replacing what iconoclasm is taking, kind of. So, like, because it can function as excess magic, that's my guess, is it's trying to, like, plug up what the magical damage is doing, although most of the magical damage appears to be physical. His puppet hasn't changed, so I assume his hand actually hasn't changed. It was just more of a temporary thing, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. And then everyone sort of... Well, Gregor became leader.
Gregor was leader of the Rest clan for like 5 minutes, and then Zeke was like, okay, we're gonna get rid of the clans.
That's technically the last leader of the Rust clan, then.
Yeah. I look forward to putting that on his wiki page. Leader of the Valet clan, former. One interesting thing, and because we, of course, had Narn reappear, who it turns out was Fury's friend, or at least in this instance is Fury's friend.
With a question mark.
Yeah. There's the line, I believe a revenge plan would be out of Narn's character at this point. Which I feel is interesting because of what we know of Narn and their ability to pick up other people's, like, abilities and motivations. Means that Fury at the least can read them fairly clearly.
And read, like, what's influencing, I guess.
I guess.
At that moment. Maybe she knows... Well, if Fury was the one they were around the most recently when they were injured.
Yeah.
She can influence their goals, I guess.
She's also had, like, a one-on-one talk with them.
Yeah.
There was some line that I'm going to try and find that from the I'm looking at one of the emails on the Third Wheel and the Fourth Wall blog. Narn and Fury get on well, despite seeming to have quite the different worldviews. I'm assuming they've known each other for a long time. Is that the case? And Jay's response is just, in a matter of speaking. Because there's several characters who have been missing in action, namely Max, Dunstan, and Rat, who've all been gone for, like, a few episodes. Dunstan may or may not be dead. It's kind of unclear. But Vern's...
I thought Dunstan...
really
It was just Dunstan's arm.
Well, we don't know where's Dunstan, then.
Well, he was pinned by really far away by Kirlos, and then
Yeah. But,
might have been hit.
Vern's body, when they're leaving, is gone. Like, there's a bunch of skeleton tokens around where he was.
Yeah.
But he's not there.
Those don't move, but he's gone.
Yeah.
He's a lich.
I hope.
He is.
Well, didn't
Please.
Marcus say something about him having already died once?
Yeah. Or he's
Yeah,
like, I
he
thought he
told me
already
he
was
was
dead.
Yeah. So it couldn't happen again. So I guess we'll see what comes from that.
Vern's just
Roland.
like shed all skin and just becomes one of the skeleton tokens.
Like,
It's safe to say everyone with Kier and that is dead, like other than Zeke and Batty, and
we don't know about Horrivan.
well, we don't know about Horrivan, but the ones that were hit by the blast.
So Roland and Colfus and Island.
Bask McGee.
This was brought back only to die. Damn.
Ballast, we're going to think Ballast is dead for like 3 arcs, and then he's going to show up again, like, in a full body cast.
Damn it.
Just like you've seen the last of me. That is, I need that to happen.
No.
Batty swore her blade to Ash, and then Zeke did the same to Marcus, but Batty's like, saying swear your blade honestly sounds like a romantic proposal.
Yeah.
They're knife wives now. Nothing can stop that. They're knife wives.
Yes. Like, the term, what Zeke says specifically is, this band does seem to have quite the fondness for you.
Okay, that immediately made me think of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
It sounds like any RPG where you can check characters, like, relationship statuses between each other, like in Pokemon, where it's like, alright, does this Pokemon have a high friendship level? This band seems quite fond of you.
They would like to come with you on your journey.
After you, of course, beat them down in combat.
I mean, Ash got, well, she fought with Batty, not like fighting Batty. So now we know that if Ash had just left Zelvetta alone, he wouldn't have almost killed her. Because he was trying to kill the fake ones. And everyone just kept getting in the way.
So he would have left Iggy and Batty, but no, they all had to come and fight for the fake. Okay, wait. Can Iggy and Batty tell if one's fake or not?
It might depend, like, on their ability to sense it. Like, when Ash heals two of the foxes, I think all of the foxes were fake, if not most of them. Because when she tries to graft skin from one to the other, like, Jay's narration is like, it fits too well. Like, that was like a clue.
Like they're clones.
Yeah, like, it indicates that because they're made of the same energy, healing them together is really easy. So I guess if they had the ability to sense energy at a more, like, specific level, they'd be able to notice it. They might also just be able, because they're banned and live with other band, to, like, know these band on an individual level. Like, Ash only really knows, like, 3 or 4 band, but it's like an entire community. I assume you'd eventually get to know your fellows.
Even the fake ones, like, the fake ones, like, have a personality and a life outside of being Jin's copies.
There's actually a few lines that are like indications of this knowledge that like Jay has very clearly been setting up since the beginning of Honorant. Like, it's a very interesting thing to do is just rewatch Honorant and go, okay, which ban are real? Because like look at them, like how do they act, how do they fight, how competent are they? Like the ones in the catacombs are almost certainly real, if only because they actually have like they react to things. Like
Dying and the silent screams and stuff.
yeah, like like the ones that they encounter when they encounter Zelvetta are running from him. Like the ones that when in the fight with Ash and Zelvetta, the ones that are fake are so eager to like get in the way of his blows to protect Ash, and she keeps screaming at them not to, but they're not real. So they just keep taking blows. But these ones are running for their lives. There's also one point where Horrivan is talking about how very rarely do they train the band, because this is right before Big War. And he says, and Ash is like, really? And he says, like, Jin is rather high on his own supply, which sounds like a weed joke or something. But really, it's just like, he has so many of his own creations that he doesn't need to worry about the real ones, and now he's worrying about the real ones. And then one more, which is that in, like, Jin makes the very distinct thing in Liquor and Spirits that Ash is his, like, only peer, his only companion that he's had in, like, many years. But in, at one point he says that one of my cohorts, my peers, told me that he, Thog, was one of your ilk. Even though he said he hadn't met anyone to consider a peer, so presumably he was talking about one of the fake ones, because who would be a peer but himself? Jin is his own best friend, and that's canon.
What a fucking smug bastard.
Narcissist. That is definition. Wow. Okay.
Like, come on, isn't that fantastic?
Yes. But okay, but do they all look like Jin under the mask?
Yes. Yes.
I see. I was gonna say that they probably didn't have a face, but that's great.
All of the fake band take off their masks.
There.
Jin. Wait, I'm Jin and you're Jin.
Who's Jin?
Plane.
See, now I'm like, that would be a great plot twist if, like, they run into Ban in the city or something, one of them takes out their mask and it's Jin, and they're like, why are we not surprised? I mean, Jin's been a cloud before.
Yeah, he took the form of one of the laser bearers.
Yeah. Jay called them by an entirely different name this episode. He called them Bear Blasters, and it's like, no, that's not what Kier said. That's not what Kier said.
Well, honestly, Bear Blasters does seem like something Kier would say.
Yes, but Laser Bears is the technical term.
Because it was the one he used first.
Yes.
Oh,
And because the one we've been using.
I noticed a thing, though. The creepy mask rattling scream thing that the band did. They've never done that again.
Yeah, they've never done it since.
Why?
Presumably because it would be inconvenient to the character. Like, okay. It happened during... It happened before the catacombs and in the catacombs, and then never after. Presumably it's because those were real banned as like a last ditch, like here's how I'm trying to save myself kind of thing.
Yeah, defense mechanism.
Yeah.
After that, they don't fight any real band.
They do, because Batty and Horrivan are in Iocho.
Well, yeah.
But assumably there's not enough reason to use it when there's both real and fake ones and something. I don't know. I thought I had a reasoning here. Like, what I was going to say is that at least after Gods Are Gone, it's always with Ash, who would have no method of defense against this.
Yeah, that's
So-
true too.
Like, presumably there's a magic to the mask that prevents it from affecting other ban, but that might not always be the case.
What if just underneath all of that gigantic black fuzz, it's just a pair of earmuffs?
I was gonna say earplugs. Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they don't use. Maybe that's why they don't use it in Yocho, because Batty's there and she's got the big cat ears, so she doesn't have a pair of earmuffs the right size.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and everyone knew about Horrivan, so maybe they're just like, we're not going to use this against Horrivan, but then...
Yeah. Like, Horrivan was admittedly very keen to kill the band, so obviously there's only like 1 or 2, maybe 3 real ban in Yocho. Like,
well, Jin said he put his weakest forces. So.
Not to mention, it would make sense that all the band disappeared just because they turned into laser bears. Which is like a fantastic mental image, because the animals associate. Like, there's fox masked band and there's fox laser bears, and there's bird masked band and bird laser bears.
But there's no bear mask. For the laser bear.
Were there any bear laser bears even, or did they just call them that?
Well, I think
It's
they're
called-
laser bears because they're vaguely bear-shaped.
They're vaguely animal shaped.
Yeah, none of them were bears.
There was a bird, and there was like
Foxes.
there's
a lot of
foxes, and there's one other one that I don't remember. There's also the really weird humanoid ones that were at first Jin and now just keep coming back as like assorted background NPC spirit wisp things.
Those are weird.
They're really
Oh,
creepy.
Oh yeah, the ones that were slightly human-shaped.
Yeah, and then we didn't get a puppet of, which drove me nuts because I remember wanting to draw Jin, and then we saw the actual Jin, and I'm like, great. This bastard's no easier.
All I'm just reminded of with the vaguely animal-shaped things is frickin' like animal pasta, the doodles, whatever the hell they're called. It's like that's the weirdest association, but that's all I can think of.
That's so weird.
Aren't they like? Don't they have like
Yeah.
glyphs or something floating through the alphabet soup?
Alpha band soup.
Good one.
Yes, thank you.
Everyone meets up again, and everyone's together. Woo!
Yes.
It's been forever.
Yes. That's like literally the last episode, so we can talk more in detail about that.
Okay. Yeah.
First off, Narn went to help, quote, another associate.
Blue cloak. Aaron.
Oh, see, I was thinking of, Kat was like, what about Fox King? But yeah, that'd be cool.
Because the Fox King isn't nearby?
We don't know that.
Well, we don't know. But
There is also that one email that I quoted earlier that it does say that Narn is aware of Aaron at the very least. So your predictions may be on point.
it's just because Aaron was over in the band village, and that's sort of close to where
Yeah.
everybody else was, so it'd be easy for them to run over, help out, then run back.
Oh god. I
Investigate.
just got the fucking mental image of Narn. Okay, so you said running, and I was like, alright, Narn running. That doesn't seem like something they'd be very good at.
Oh god.
And then I get the mental image of them with, like, toast in their mouth.
Arms late for anime school.
Oh.
See, you were saying like running, and I'm now just imagining them just kind of scuttling across the ground.
Okay, so I now have a picture of how they're like, wait. They sway sort of, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they walk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then
Aggressively wobbling.
this is really a nerdy thing to know, but like, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Toothless walks on his hind legs and has this weird waddle thing, and they're like, you can see it.
Just Narn waddling.
That's quality. For
See,
the
Them
world.
running.
Like, you know those gifs where it's like kind of from a lower perspective, so as one person's walking, it's like really long, big strides? Because that's what I'm picturing. But like,
Okay, now I'm picturing Narn with like gams. The true Honorian gam beast. Half the tango anyway.
why? Let's see what else is on my list. So it is in fact okay. So we'd known that it was Chiron's horn that Narn had taken because Jay basically confirmed that in a Fat Bat call, and it had to be. But we actually got the confirmation that Narn was after Chiron, which is so gratifying after knowing it for like literally a year.
Finally. Stamp.
Answers that we already had.
And that
Maybe
Chiron was a spirit of mastery. Which is fucking terrifying.
So just that means he's able to master all different skills?
Bring out the potential in others, I think was mentioned. I think maybe.
Yeah.
Because Narn was talking about how Chiron, yeah. How Chiron's wisp would also draw out the potential in all of the other wisps that they had consumed.
That's
I remember that at least.
terrifying and amazing.
What a strong blueberry bee.
Oh, so
I
it's
know.
basically like the tiefling blood only for everybody.
Yeah, that's like, well, the tiefling blood is like it is inherent potential, but even that has a limit. While mastery would provide mastery to everything, that they could continue adding to that. Like every new wisp they consume from that point on would simply add to the skills they have. Something I realize is that if the seal is broken, which I didn't think it was going to be, but it is broken, are we gonna see the clan leaders?
Please?
I want to see the clan leaders.
I need to know if Tenwi is like just a ball of wings.
So I'm imagining Tenwi is like a giant human bird person. Mir is a living meerkat.
or a cat. Just a regular cat.
Yes, either way, Mir is some enormous, like...
Animal.
Yeah.
Mir's furry.
And then Chiron has a snout but horns and wields the katana. I don't know. I imagine
So
these are
he's giant,
designs
like,
that
Oxman or a centaur?
See, but then he
Avatar?
there was a I think I wrote it down on the wiki. I forget. There was something about his appearance that made me think not like oxen. Dang it, I was like, oh, there's that one quote from Zeke, and I go to the wiki and it says Chiron was described by Zeke as, someone find the quote. But like the word snout was what was inconvenience. Like that was what made me think more like a wolfing creature, I guess. But well, I guess we'll see. So these are presumably designs that either Jay or Jackson have been sitting on for like 2 years. I really want to see them. I really want to know what they look like.
Oh, does that mean we can talk about the Battle Ripper? Since that's a design.
Oh my god! I was absolutely terrified. It's basically 5 in the morning for me. I'm watching the episode, and that shows up, and I'm just kind of... Nope.
So the first time I watched it, I was very much skimming. Like, I knew that I was like, okay, they're talking. Skip ahead 10 seconds. Okay, they're talking. Skip ahead 10 seconds. Because it was like 1:30 and I wanted to sleep. But, I didn't see the, like, explosion effect that... like, the animated explosion effect when it happens is so good.
It's so great.
The Bowel Ripper looks like someone in World of Warcraft who has never heard of the term transmog. And is, like, level 62. And I said that, and Jay just responded with laughter on Twitter. So... I was hoping they were feathers. I was hoping his face markings were feathers, but no, he's a friggin' kabuki wrestler.
He did have like a few feathers, but
Did he?
Around, like, near the eyes he did. Like, I guess it could have just been... Well, it sort of looked like...
The only thing I can see close to that is, like, part of his outfit that just looks like ruffled fur.
Let me see.
That outfit is so the hair is what kills me. The hair is worse than Horrivan's. That I would tell him that to his face.
I'm not gonna say what it looks like, but that is very funny.
Like, he was mad that they thought Horrivan was handsome. I love Marcus's just look of complete befuddlement. What the fuck did I get into?
Where did Zeke even get the shoulder pads? In 2 seconds.
They're shoulder plates. Well, I mean, it's like a transformation thing. It's like, because spirits can disguise themselves as human. So...
Like magical transformations.
Yeah, so that is what he actually looks like. And then Zeke, that we normally see, is what he wants to look like in the manner similar to how Don't can magically turn into a person, but normally she's just a big bat.
Okay.
I wonder if... See, my big question is Jin's appearance as we see it, is that his true form, or does he have a truer one? Because we might see that, which would be super badass.
That would be cool.
I want to know.
I'm looking back at it now, and that's kind of terrifying. Okay?
It's kind of friggin' terrifying. Like...
Yeah. He's almost got sci-fi leg pads. Fuck.
What is it with all the blonde people in this country? It's supposed to be like anime land. Why is everyone blonde?
It's supposed to be Japan, and they're all blonde.
Yeah.
What even?
Okay. The red streaks on the sides of... Is that eyebrows, or...
It looks...
That was what I was thinking were feathers. Like, I was misseeing that as feathers.
Like, those could totally be feathers, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's
Really
what
big feathers.
that are his eyebrows? Question.
That at least for some wonderful expressions, actually.
And he's got, like, fingerless gloves that only cover his hands anyway. I don't know, man.
I was gonna say, what if the freaking kabuki makeup?
They're his birthmarks.
Literally makeup, and he actually has feathers underneath. I was gonna suggest that.
And there's like he's got like a cloak or something going on. Like there's something covering the top of his...
Yeah, there is.
Those might go into the shoulder pads. The shoulder pads. The shoulder pauldrons, I'm pretty sure.
I don't even want to try to figure out the clothes.
If in the future, if I ever say I'm going to draw him, I will only draw his face and nothing more. I will not kill myself with that stupid friggin' outfit. I swear to God.
Why? This was not in. I don't feel like this was in the description Jay gave you. It's just so hard.
Why did you
make it so hard?
I think it's definitely that kind of look that Jackson went, I am never going to have to draw this character ever again.
I heard the motherfucking bowel ripper had an 8-pack, that the motherfucking bowel ripper was ripped.
Shredded.
Stretch.
Get the quote right.
Paraphrasing.
Sure.
Yes, please.
Let's see. What else? Oh, when Krager mentions Provisional Outriders 3, and Zeke is like, a name with a history, what happened to Outriders 2? It makes me wonder if he does know who the Outriders are, presumably from Kirlos?
Kirlos did say that he was like a fan.
Yeah, so I mean, assumedly... Because it kind of sounds like he knows who the Outriders are, but it's not 100% clear.
Yeah. Like he's aware that they're not around anymore enough to ask about number 2.
I got the worst mental image.
What is this mental image?
Consider younger Kirlos. Pretty much dressed up like an Outriders fanboy. Got the little flag. All of the Outriders merch, if that was a thing.
It wasn't a thing, but he made it a thing.
Why is my inclination in a modern AU now of Zeke being like an underground wrestler?
Because
like, the thing is that, like, my favorite thing is they don't even have, like, the same build. Like, you look at these two characters, you go, how are those the same person?
they don't.
Oh my god. Oh, Lord. Zeke was that. Oh, that's a thing I should talk about. I was very insistent and certain that Zelveta was the half spirit, but it turned out I was wrong. But I'm okay with this because one of my crack theories was right.
Vampire. Dracula. Either.
I love how extraordinarily angry Zelveta gets when he's called a Dracula. Like, I'm never quite sure with voices how intentional it is, but like for that split second, it reminded me of Jin. Don't you ever call me that. But yeah, because I had a crack theory from about around when I made the guess that Zelveta was the half spirit, that maybe Zelveta was Jin's kid, and it turns out that was right.
In a way, yeah.
Well, I mean, in his own words.
Wait. Wouldn't he almost technically be a half spirit since the
See, that's the thing, is that it's a half. I think he's.
By technicality, he could be a half spirit.
He would be an artificially made half spirit.
Is
like,
there
touch
such
tube baby only for.
Well, the thing is that half spirit is presumably like method of inception over result. Like, a half spirit is the child of a spirit and a human.
Yeah.
As opposed to just.
A human with spirit stuff shoved in.
Yeah. Like, it's
Zelveta
very.
and Ash should get along really well now.
Well, there's that line that. Oh god, my roommates are being really loud, I'm sorry. I don't know if you can hear them.
I heard vague voice noises.
Okay. Well, then I apologize to everyone listening, but I can't really do anything about it. And I have a headset mic, so it should drown out them out considerably. Anyway, there's the line about Ash and Zelveta are making the same face because they're going full bloodlust to Jin.
And Indian's like, you're making that face. You're making it.
It's adorable.
Bonding over the hatred of Jin.
And also, when, like, we all know that, like, Ash despises Zelveta. Like, I wanted to throw him in a ditch or whatever, but like, when they're like, all right, who do you think we should bring along? And she lists him almost immediately. Because, like, despite the fact she doesn't like him, he's going to be an advantage and also despises Jin.
Yeah.
Also,
Well, Gregor was bringing up the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
friend
so-
of my friend is another friend or whatever he said.
Yes.
Friend is another friend.
Ash made a
Friends of my
friggin'
friends.
Ash
Friends
made a
of my friends are also my friends, and their friends are my friends, and I'm friends with everyone. You can't stop me.
Well, like, Ash made a friggin' joke about Narn eating spirits, and I would like to thank Ash for taking this opportunity. Because that's been my favorite part about learning all this stuff, is just making jokes now. Like I said the other day, is like, I'm going to keep cracking jokes about cannibalism, even if they're in bad taste.
You stop that!
The first time I did that, it wasn't even intentional. So, and there's a great line from Narn about, with both of us in our current shapes, I don't think either of us would survive an angry fairy. And they seem dead serious about it, which is like, oh goodness.
Gregor agrees, so
what-
it's like.
What would fairy even get mad about?
I don't want to imagine.
Apparently her friend's fighting.
I bet she could pull that move where the stereotypical fight where one friend's going off on another friend and they're fighting and friend just steps right in the middle. I bet Fury could probably pull that off without getting it.
Okay, knowing Fury, it would be something like two people start fighting, she steps between them and like grabs the person's fist and just suplexes them.
Yes!
Like,
You draw Fury suplexing someone now. This is something. This is
She is
necessary.
super strong. Like, she's super strong. She could totally suplex.
and like knowing what like, well, she does have like at least like so, we don't know if she's human, but there's definitely something odd about her, such as standing in a burning building for an extended period of time and not passing out from smoke inhalation.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm not sure if this is correct, but I think I might be remembering something about House Spirit. Because crap. I think it was in one of the more recent episodes. I'm not sure, but they were mentioning Fury's lovely facial markings.
Oh yeah.
As the telltale sign of a half spirit.
Well,
I'm sure if that was.
I don't think that happened in TI episode that I recall.
Yeah,
But I
don't
remember us talking about her way back when she showed up, that those markings are almost the same, or almost or exactly the same color as Ash's bindings.
Oh, yeah.
So she might have a bound spirit too? We don't know what's up with her relation to the Zeth either.
Well, that would actually make sense for the Zeth to give her. Because to them, it's normal to have a spirit bound to you because they eat them. So
Yeah. Or even
There's
like...
Spirit
See-
biz going on.
See, my next question is, could you bind a Zeth to a person? Like...
You bind the spirit in a Zeth?
Okay, this is weird, but I picture Zeths as like plastic bags filled with marbles. And the marbles are the spirits.
Yeah.
And so you would just, instead of just taking a marble out and attaching it to a person,
He
attach
taped the...
entire
tape.
bag.
Yeah! Could you do that? Is that what happened with Fury?
Well, you could definitely.
Yeah, that would make Fury very, very scary.
Exactly!
She has an entire plastic bag.
The thing with
Now
Fury is that...
imagining Fury suplexing Narn.
Do it.
See, that was my immediate thought, but I'm like, I'm not gonna mention it, even though it's hilarious with the hiatus.
I don't even remember what a suplex is. I just know it's one of those things you do in
It's
fighting.
over the shoulder. You take the hand and you flip them on their back over your
Yeah.
shoulder.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be fantastic. I've seen. Let's see what else.
Should we talk about like their plan, or do you have?
Let's just go over some notes from the episode, and then we can go over that kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Some more, because I have a note of just Indian is so gay. Because like, okay, so Ash says way earlier that she's quote borderline fond of Indian, but then in the episode says, if I'm with you, I can at least keep you safe.
That's gay.
That's so like, Indian, you've tried to kill her.
And then they hug, and Indian just is like, Jay's like, yeah, Indian's so used to hugs by now, she doesn't even blink an eye. She
I
just
know,
hugs Ash
it's so
back.
cute. It's
Doesn't even seem like a hugs person.
She doesn't like
She gave out
hugs.
hugs.
Also, Marcus hugging the one guard. That's
Okay, but that made me think of Gen Con and just Matt in general and just giving people hugs and like,
That reminded me of when at Gen Con Jackson started hugging everyone the second he arrived, and then like looked at Sophia right after they like parted. Was like, wait, who are you?
I'm still kind of having the Gen Con jealousy.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, but there was a time at Gen Con where everyone was leaving and Jackson was still talking, and so we're like, hey, Matt, you're forgetting someone, while he was giving out hugs. So he came back to give more hugs, thinking that's what we were saying you were forgetting. But no, you were forgetting Jackson.
Matt has other priorities.
Hugs are first priority.
Yeah.
Hugs get priority seating.
Okay, I'm gonna take this next, I'm gonna hijack maybe 10 minutes of the podcast to just talk about Sylvetta. Is that okay?
Do it.
Okay. Well, cause I just love Sylvetta being really open and he's actually interacting with these people when his past interactions with Marcus have been basically ignoring him and or trying to steal money out of his wallet. But he called Ash a dandelion, he calls Marcus Blondie. It's just good work, Blondie, I like you. That's so cute. Sylvetta doesn't have any reason to fight these people, so he's being vaguely affectionate. And getting really annoyed at Ash when she doesn't sense the spirits. He's like, you should be able to sense them too. Why aren't you sensing these spirits?
Exactly the same sort of.
It's so cute. I love Sylvetta so much. I'm so excited to learn more things and help him get his vengeful revenge.
Or him helping Ash, since he knows how to deal with the spirit stuff.
But I don't know, it kind of makes it feel better. It just gets slowly integrated into the group. We kind of hated you at first, but
that's what happened with Narn. They had an entire arc of fighting Narn.
And now they just aren't talking about it, sort of.
I really hope that Sylvetta stays with the group or comes back to the group after Honor It, after they've killed Jin and
Don't kill Narn!
After they've killed Jin and he has nothing better to do anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's all I wanted to say for now. I'll probably think of things later. I don't have actually that many notes on Sylvetta because I've sent Jay this 1,200 word email with a bunch of questions that he just promised he's going to reply to soon.
That's great.
So I'm 97% sure Sylvetta lives through the arc, and that's all I need.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh yeah, and then Batty's near the boat, and so I'm worried that we might have either she comes with or we have another Colfus situation.
I hope
they rush onto the boat.
I hope Batty comes. I love Batty. She's so cute.
And then if she is a pig bat and she meets Don't.
I wonder if they'd be cousins.
Yeah, I was thinking they're cousins.
What if she's a bat pig?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the evidence for her being a pig bat. There are no cat girls in Thrilling Intent, only bat girls Scree.
Does have a cat tail thing going on, but
and hair
there's no
and tail, not hair, tail. All right, not tail, ears.
Yeah,
Not just
She's a tail. Okay.
Scree.
Yeah. I understand what meme you're doing, and that's why I'm agreeing with you. I also hope Batty stays mute.
Yeah.
Yeah, mute characters are cute.
Batty's entire gender is Switchblade. Just Switchblade.
I love that she doesn't even do the posing thing. She just kind of leaves Ash to deal with what she intends.
You figure it out.
Batty's level of menace is pretty much a language.
Yeah, I love that she Ash talks with her and she's still being menacing, but she's like, yeah, of course. It's just Batty, are you just in a permanent state of menace? Is that what you do?
That's probably why Thaw gets along so well with her.
It's what Batty is. Batty is just menace.
I want
Spirit
Batty to arm wrestle Narn, and then I want Fury to arm wrestle Narn. Who would win in a Shikala wrestling match between Fury and Narn?
Who has the stronger truth?
I mean, Fury
want
didn't
Fury
need a
to-
truth.
I want Fury to Jin Colin arm wrestle.
And Narn has all the truths.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what else is on my list. I just have the note, Marcus sounds genuinely actually mad, and I love it. Yeah. Just like, I love these characters showing emotions other than like excitement. Like, Ash is like, she's so mad. She wants to kill Jin so bad. She was sympathetic to his plight until like 2 hours ago, and now she's like, I'm going to let his life slip away between my fingers.
Yeah, and she's still mad at Marcus for... Well, that did sort of screw them over, but...
Yeah. But I think it's the kind of thing where she's going to be like, maybe it wasn't the best idea in general, but at the time it was a good one. I mean, to be fair, Jin basically already screwed them over.
Yeah.
I'm just remembering that one edit someone made of your plans are shit. It was like some Sesame Street book, and they just kind of photoshopped and edited some things and stuck Marcus's face on one thing, Jin on the other, and your plans are shit.
I also just really like that when Marcus cast Iconoclasm, like, he was so certain of what he was doing. Like, normally he's trying to be like the mediator, he's trying to be the sensible one, but he just looks at Ash and goes, it's okay if you hate me for this. Like, that's how certain of what he was doing.
Well, fuck me.
Yeah. See, if Jin had died, those would have been honorable last words, but no.
No, he had
That
to...
fucker has to get the last laugh.
And it's also kind of annoying because then, had it worked on Jin, we would have known, like, presumably if you were to cast Iconoclasm on the Fox King, it wouldn't kill her then. It would kill, like, parts of her. But because she is endlessly, like, regenerating, she would be totally fine. I'm just imagining the Fox King being perpetually on fire with Iconoclasm, but just repairing herself too quick.
Including the Fox King.
Well, like, she's like repairing herself too quickly, so she's just always on fire now. Because
Hey, that means her and...
Heard Marcus would really hit it off.
Well, Marcus would do the Iconoclasm, so no.
Okay, true. That's okay, you got me there.
that was dark.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you want to talk about, Dark?
Oh, well, just their plan of the team-ups and how they're planning to deal with the big
Yes.
portal.
I mean, it's pretty. This is like a video game ending kind. This is like a literal Final Fantasy scenario of make your parties go fight the final boss. Did you level everyone up right? No, screw you.
Gregor didn't get any healing potions.
Did you use factory defect dice?
In light of tonight's TI episode, who would you take with you to the final battle, and why were the group's choices objectively terrible?
Oh boy.
Okay, I wouldn't take Gregor if only because I feel right now he has nothing to add to the fight. I get that he needs to be there because main 3 trio party stuff, but
He's like the obligate member in like a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game.
yeah, the
We're
one you're
like-
assigned.
Yeah, where like you have your partner and you need to take them. I don't see why would you not take Inian? The more God Slayers, the better. You're gonna go fight a fuck ton of spirits.
Yeah, Inian and Colvin together can close the portal in 2 seconds.
Not to mention Inian and Colvin together. Inian can use meta magic. Anything anything any of the other God Slayers can do, she can make better. She can just summon a fucking meteor.
She has the meteor waiting.
Punches though. Consider that.
She just wants to use the meteor.
Well, it's like, why would you not take Annie and why would you not involve her in this?
Why is she on the getting people out of the city team? But yeah. Just, this is an entire trope and we have to look it up at some point to find out. The big portal opening in the middle of the city, sending in the invading army.
Yeah.
It's like,
that really, like, feels video gamey, because you've got, like, there's gonna be one team that's, like, fighting back all the endless, like, doing the endless wave combat.
oh yeah.
And then you've got one team that's gonna be going to fight the final boss, and then you've got the one team that's going to be doing the slow, stealth-based objective shit.
They did set that up.
And I'm just excited for them to hit whatever they're fighting. It's probably going to be, let's see. They went west, so it's not towards the Rise, I don't think. Alright.
They are on the map.
Yeah.
They're headed towards the Rise.
I thought the
they're
Rise
headed
was
towards- They're headed towards the bar, and after the bar is the Rise.
Streets and
Or the inn that they stay at.
Yeah.
Because they just passed Morin Shop. Morin Shop is so screwed.
Well, I mean, at least he already lost everything there.
Yeah, but now he's probably gonna have. Would he have a house there, or would he just use his shop?
No, that's the shop. The shop is the house.
I mean, to be fair, everyone else. Oh, the Samoran is probably gonna come stay with the gang. I'm betting.
Everyone goes with the gang afterwards. Everyone.
It's just so.
I mean, they've got an entire series of islands with a bunch of empty houses. Come on.
What could go
All
wrong?
of honorant moves.
I mean, it's supposed to be a refuge for the displaced and unwanted.
I am so
What was I going to say about? Like, that's what I want from Jay at the end of this is, can he give us a fucking map of Jinkala? Because I still have no idea where anyone is supposed to be going from where. Like, I thought the Rise was east of the park. But I'm probably
On the
wrong.
map, it's to the left. If we're looking at the lake, and you're looking at the map from the lake, it's to the left.
That doesn't sound right to me, and I don't have any evidence to disprove this.
Yeah. I don't know, but I just know that's the way to where the aqueducts lead to, like, the market and to where the inn is. And then after that is the other place where the flower imp
Okay,
was
my
with-
audio might pick up a second on the podcast of the intro to Romance because I'm going to look through the episode and see if I can find where they go to get to the Rise because I'm lost in this now.
I'm pretty sure it is to the west, or if you want to use TI compass stuff,
So they
Widley.
go.
Why is that, by the way? Why is it?
Why not?
Because one of the nerds wanted to make a special compass, and so they made a special compass.
But north is the same. Do you think that if they wanted to change
Oh
the
yeah,
entire compass, it would be
they just go north and suddenly they're at the Rise. That's really boring. I thought the Rise was somewhere in relation to the pond.
Yeah, it's not.
So yeah, they're probably
I'm
gonna end up at the Rise, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but that is where the last seal is.
Yep.
They did move it to the Rise, so.
Who's moved to the...
rising tensions.
So are they gonna fight up on the Lily Clan Gardens again, or do you think it'll be?
Well, the thing is that it seems to imply that the Rise only existed, like, after the Great Iconoclasm, because that's not where the Lily Clan base was before.
Yeah, it wasn't originally there.
So, my guess is the Rise is going to be destroyed at the end of the arc, is like a end of a bygone era kind of thing.
The rise and fall.
Stop trying to make bad puns. They're not funny. They're
Am
not
I
working.
trying? Am I trying or succeeding in making bad puns? Because I can hear laughter, I think.
That's sure.
Okay, I'm gonna mention it. Kier, again.
Here.
But at least now we know where he is
See,
and that he's coming.
I keep thinking I'm hoping he's gonna end up with a prosthetic arm, because that would be really
on
cool.
fire except for the inside of Kier's arm.
Because if his arm is perpetually on fire, I don't think you want to live with that. I don't think in any situation that's comfortable.
Yeah.
So.
But he doesn't have time really to fix that in 20 minutes.
Oh man, that's a nice
Or
grim
however
thought.
long it takes them, I guess an hour, I guess.
Hmm.
You could say, to get to the portal.
Hmm.
And he stays behind.
Oh man. Oh man.
What?
Oh, this is
I had a grim thought.
What?
If Kier's arm is internally on fire, if he cut it off, do you think it would be cauterized? Or...
Like a lightsaber would?
Yeah,
Maybe.
but he said it's
It's not, I
I
don't think it's literal fire.
Yeah.
I think it's just the feeling of burning. So
It's
it won't have the effects
pure
of a literal flame.
fire.
And I think if it wasn't cauterized, Marcus would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Actually, an I-beam would probably be the easiest way to get it off.
Oh god, that sounds painful.
Yes, and probably very hard to do.
Yeah.
But it would cauterize it
storm
as you get
pray.
off.
Maybe they'll do it the tax goat way. Tax goat, trade my arm for a piece of beef jerky.
Trade my arm for a prosthetic one. There you go.
Yeah, but Q would want to make his own.
Yeah, Kier has to build his prosthetic arm.
What I really want is Kier to have a fist that detaches with a string, so he punches someone and then he reels it back in, and then he punches someone across the room and then he reels it back in.
Okay, that made me think of Cyborg from Teen Titans.
Good. Oh, and we also found out that the beginning of Gods of God. Fuck me. The beginning of Gods Are Gone was Jin and Narn. Apparently. Which
How do we figure that out? We assumed.
Doesn't Jin say it that he had a confrontation with them?
Oh yeah, I think he. Yeah, he said he backed off and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, which I guess means because you hear Narn's voice, as the spirit I seek is in Jinkala, and then their voice is totally different when we see them next. I guess they encountered someone else?
Yeah, it is different. It is different when he goes and he's like, "Hey, guard," or they're the guard here. Yeah.
Because they're talking really slow.
That's not Jin.
Yeah, exactly.
If they had stolen it from Jin, they wouldn't have been that slow.
We hear Jin's voice in that episode even, which is partially why I assume they don't sound like him. Just because it would be confusing.
Yeah.
Also, just see, now I'm going back to all the other notes I have that are from the other episodes. They're just on my list.
It's fine.
Inian has known Colvin since he was a kid, which for basically his life, and calls him her friend. So presumably, at the very least, she's older than him. I want to know more about their relationship. I want to know more about Inian's backstory. Can we learn that next? I want to learn Inian's backstory. Whatever happened to they asked for the rune assistance from the Rune Carvers Guild. Whatever happened to that?
They just never show up. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I was gonna say what's happening with Dao, but we sort of know that Aaron.
One sec, someone's at the door.
Oh.
Coming.
I'm looking at the map that Jackson drew, and I'm just questioning what the hell is all of this space? What are all of these?
Oh, the monster spirit things?
No. For one, the big central circle of islands, and then the continent up to the northwest.
Oh, you're looking at the map. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we don't know. We just know the little tiny thing is the Shrouded Isles. We have no idea what's in the middle.
So many places to explore, so many friends to make.
That's just in the little. That's just in the Free Isles. Once again, this is like the size of, I'd say, the Philippines area. That's what I'd say. It's like the Indian Ocean. In those islands, and then there's a big one that's like where Honorin is, which I would compare to like Australia. So we have all these islands, but that's just a small part of the entire world.
Alright, I'm back. What are you talking about?
The map and how small it is compared to like the rest of the world, probably.
Also, there's this thing right beside the title of the map, this really weird thing. I'll send a picture over the chat, because, oh boy, I cannot. Like, heck is this, and can I hide it?
Oh yeah, there's
It looks
weird
like
monsters all over the thing. Like there's a dragon in one corner, even though dragons very blatantly don't exist.
According to Gregor.
What if it's a wyvern or something to that extent? I mean, they're not technically dragons.
What if Fury's a dragon? Which is why she's like insistent that if Gregor sees one, to blow the horn immediately or to play the song immediately.
See, Fury, play music.
See, that would be.
Fury always gets an entrance music.
Fury can't, like. I guess she could be associated with both Zeths and dragons, I guess. But that would be sort of strange. To be like, I'm from a group of dragons, but I'm also from the Zeths, and.
She's from an organization.
An organization.
Is she from the world government?
Oh, no. I really, really don't think so. I think of all people, Fury is not from the world government.
Okay. And then she is. Secret agent.
Secret Agent
Secret
Fury.
Agent 00 Fury. Nick Fury.
See, I was gonna try and make some. Oh no! See, Furiosa.
Good. That has my instant approval.
I remember one time when I went to see Mad Max, I got home and immediately just drew Don't with like the Furiosa face paint over her eyes.
I feel like that's clapping.
Yeah,
That is. Great
that was a
clapping.
long time ago.
Well, Mad Max was last year.
Yeah. Let's see what else. We learned that Ash's spirit is unthinking. TL is unthinking. Which is really interesting, because how do you get... Well, I guess, isn't the spirit of the fort kind of like that? Like the fort itself, of the Fort Asunder, is like this really ancient spirit that's even older than Jin, and just doesn't really, like, talk or do anything.
Sort of like asleep, I guess you could say, like hibernation.
I
Stasis.
guess.
The Ashes, what the hell is it called? Spirit, Ashes whole spirit biz.
Wow.
It seems different from the fort. Like, the fort actively does something even if it can be an unconscious reaction, such as preparing itself. But we don't really see anything from Ash's spirit that would show anything that would words.
Like, it is... The
that
spirit
it
of
does its own volition, I guess.
Well, there's like the three... Oh god, I can't even remember what they are. But there's like the three, the ID, ED, ID, super ego, and ego. And then I guess...
Super ego, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess from some perspective, the fort acts solely on instinct. It's trying to protect itself, and it will listen to, an outside source of magic. Like, it can recognize, like, oh, this is a spirit, therefore it's probably a good thing, or whatever. But that's about it. We don't know exactly, though, if, like, TL is like that, or is just, like, so completely and utterly unthinking that it's literally just, like, a hunk of stone with magic in it.
Okay, but was TL like that before
Exactly.
it was bound or after it was bound?
Exactly.
I kind of want to think that it was like that after it was bound, because that just makes
Yeah.
so many fun ideas to explore.
No one thinks positively of the medians enough to assume it was like that before.
And well, it wouldn't make sense because of how all the other spirit folks, and they're from another plane, to have one with just no.
Well, I mean, who's to say that TL wasn't the spirit of, like, a tree or something? And they, like,
There's like a gigantic
Then tossed it in a golem and bound it to a person?
Yes.
There's a gigantic tree on the map, actually.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that's the. Well, that's the people guess that that's the median tree Ash
That's
talks
not.
about.
It's not. Mead is up north.
And what's the big? Oh, is it one of the world trees?
Probably. I don't. Let me see the map for a sec.
I can just send the entire image.
I know where it is. It's on his DeviantArt. The big tree is like. Where is it? Where even is it on this map?
It's right next to Alron, actually.
Yeah, it's just above it.
It is very north.
Oh, no. Meath is like... Oh, I forget which island it is, but it's not... It's one of... It's like over a little bit.
The wiki has a thing.
Does it?
I know he had... Yes.
Does it?
The
Really?
wiki has a thing, trust me.
I would have never noticed.
You know, it probably has a note saying insert picture here.
Nope, it does not. It says unmarked on the official map.
Yep, that's where Meath is, that area. Which is not where the big tree is.
No, it's islands that are heavily covered in trees, but
Yes.
voila! I give to you what is possibly Meath.
There's also an island that has a volcano, and there's like...
Okay, so it's the islands that are directly to the east of the big tree island thing.
Yeah,
landmass.
that's what I thought. Yeah, I was close to it. Yeah.
It's one of those. Anyway,
Now I'm questioning.
we, despite having still more to talk about, at least a little bit, we should probably call it to a close soon. So I'm going to touch on the one thing that I need to talk about very briefly, is that there was a new supplement for the Patreon, which
Okay.
the last few have been, or I think Matt said he's going to do the entire thing of high tides, higher tempers, or whatever it's called.
Oh god.
Then he has to publish it as its own book at some point.
It's about I can't even remember how it's Malachi Ventriloquo, I believe, is the main character's name,
Possibly.
and his adventures at sea. And it's very, 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 very clearly just Marcus Valafi. There's two things about this that I need to note as like important things. And one is that there's the first mate's name is Felix, and he's like a really big guy. And Marcus is like, wow, he's hot when they first meet. And in this one, the massive man, he had lost his shirt at some point, Malachi noticed with a blush that went unnoticed. That is a line. So thank you, Marcus. And also, this, assuming that this is like literally just what happened with names changed and or like mentions of his tieflingness cut out entirely, Marcus has like photographic memory, but doesn't mention it because it makes him sound too much like a protagonist.
Yeah.
But
Sounds
if
like
Horatio had a photographic memory, he would be living up to his family name.
Strike seems skeptical. That sounds literally too good to be true, she said suspiciously. Right, said Malachi sheepishly. I don't tell people often because it always seems like I'm trying to come across as, I don't know, a protagonist or something.
Also, it might be Malachi because I knew a guy whose name was spelled exactly like that. It was Malachi, not.
I've heard like 8 different ways to say that name, so I'm just going to do the thing of saying it how I see it. Because apparently Jay makes names impossible to spell, and Matt makes names impossible to pronounce.
And Foss just mispronounces them.
Yeah. And also misspells them.
It misspells them.
So do you want to do a quick what we think will happen next episode?
Everybody knows shit.
Well, the next few episodes are just gonna be the fight.
I hope they get to the clan spirit soon. I hope Honor is over soon.
Yeah. I don't know how long it will take them to climb the hill. I assume that will be all of next episode.
Hmm.
Is them climbing, or if the hill is still there. The rise.
They just go over and the rise is just a crater.
As I've said before, rise and fall.
If you'd like to listen to more episodes of the podcast, you can find us at spiritfolksaturdays.tumblr.com. If you want to join the TI Skype chat, feel free to shoot us an ask with your Skype name. We'd be happy to have you. Thanks for listening. We'll see everybody at some point in the near future. Goodbye!
Bye.
Yo.